Welcome to Lifestyles with Eric. I'm Eric Whistler, and this evening we're going to talk about child support. The other day we were talking. I was telling you a little bit about a few issues pertaining to child support and stuff like that. But I don't know. I've just been talking to a couple of men that I know, a couple of friends that I know, and just my own personal experiences with child support and stuff like that. So here we go. Um, well, I am not perfect, and I definitely have a past as everybody. And I have children out of wedlock. So in my past, as I was saying the other day, when I first started paying child support, I was only making, I think, $7 an hour or something like that. This was 20 something years ago. Okay. And hey, Sarah. Yeah, we need those types of subjects though. We got to talk about everything. And so, yeah, like I was saying, I think I was making about $7 an hour, and I got stuck with paying, I think, $80 a week for one child at that particular time. And that back then was a lot of money a week for one child, making that amount of money an hour. So now we roll to 2020 and the different things that are going on now. So now, with the child support systems in different cities or states, they don't recognize how many kids you have, even though you're paying child support in that same state or county or whatever. So, like me, I have five children, three adults and two teenagers, and I still pay a regular amount that I pay weekly or biweekly, and then I pay a rearage amount, which is just automatically stuck on to the current amount, and then I pay two rearages. So for my adult children. So yeah, the child support stuff can be really crazy because they never look at certain instances, and that goes with my topic. Right now, you got just for instance the stimulus package coming, for everybody, supposedly everybody that makes under $75,000 a year. So what about men and women that pay child support but aren't thousands of dollars behind like me? I pay a rearage on my amount that I pay, and don't know if I'm getting a stimulus check. So, um, is it that it's almost like they look at people that have any type of rearage or pay child support like they're scum or something. I mean, I don't think that they want um, anybody to, hey, story time. Hey, what's going on? I don't think that it doesn't seem like they really want you to have a place to live, or you to have food, or just the essential things. And that's what this stimulus check is about. So I really don't get it. Um, I get, and this is just a disclaimer. This is no to single mothers and women that are doing their best that they can do for their children. Um, don't mistake what I'm saying. This is about fathers and mothers that want to do the right thing, or that are doing the right thing as far as supporting their children. But sometimes there can be an instance when things are just too much, and they never look at, again, how many children you have. I don't think that it matters what you owe used to. And you know what, Sarah? That's absolutely right. In this case, only because this whole situation we've never been in. So since, I've been out of work for 3 weeks, okay? Luckily, I have a little bit of savings, and I've got a part-time job. And so, you just never know what situation you can be put in. And especially with this, excuse me, with this, the Corona thing. I mean, who knew that we would be out of work, or whatever the case was. But if the stimulus money is for a person to pay their bills, or whatever the case is, then why shouldn't a person that owes child support be able to get that money? This should be the only one of the only times that they should definitely look at it and say, "Hey, look, um, Kids need to be taken care of. But in this situation, the child is getting $100 plus the mother's getting another additional 1,200 unless she's married. And if they make under $75,000 a year, that means that couple's going to get maybe three or $4,000, um, including a tax refund, which is a lump sum of money that, let's just say, that the mothers have gotten. And I don't get a tax check back. I'm putting you in my business. I'm putting you into my personal life. It's okay. I'm human. It's all good. My tax check still goes to my ex-wife and my other kids' moms. So you get all these lump sums of money, okay? And we run into this circumstance with this virus, okay? And they're shooting all these checks out. And I work two jobs, guys. I work two jobs every day. So I'm a hardworking guy. I'm not making any excuses. But again, fair is fair. What's fair? What's not fair? Should a man that pays child support, as I do, I pay a current amount and I also pay a rearage amount. So should I get a stimulus check? Now, if I didn't pay anything and I didn't work and I didn't do anything but sit on my ASS, okay, get it. You don't get a stimulus check, young man. Got it. But in my case, or any other man or woman's case that is working every day and that is supporting, and I'm a single guy, I'm not married, I live alone, so which means everything's on me. When you're counting on something that everybody else is getting, and then you get a punch in the stomach that says, no, you owe a little child support, so you may not get it. It sucks. It really does. It really does. Let's see into what you owe. Absolutely. It's just money for survival. And so since I pay child support and I owe some child support, do I not, can I live? I mean, is it okay that I pay my rent and buy groceries and the essential things that I need? And this isn't like the stimulus check of George Bush. This is totally different because we've never been in anything like this. So we'll see, Sarah. I'm not counting myself out. I'm not. I'm thinking positive. Eric is a positive thinker all the time. It's just that, I've been wanting to vent about this or talk about this to other people for a long time, but I just keep on doing what I do. Again, I don't make any excuses, and it is what it is. But when is fair going to be fair? There are so many different cases where you got a man that makes more money than one guy, has the same amount of kids, but pays less child support than the guy that makes less money. So things a lot with the child support just isn't making sense, and it just needs to be revamped. And they need to talk to some people that have been through it so that maybe we can put some input on it. So yeah, it's just crazy. And I'm definitely a U.S. citizen, Sarah. Okay. Absolutely. I pay it. I pay my rearage and I pay a current. So I don't just, I'm paying what I'm supposed to pay. Now, I don't have a lump sum to pay the little bit of rearage that I owe. I don't have that, but I do pay something on it every time that I get paid. So, I just feel that, fair is fair. Okay, Sarah. I mean, I Googled it and I'm going on what I saw. And again, I'm still thinking positive because at the end of the day, the Lord's got the last say, and that's just what I believe. But uh, I just don't want to feel that I'm not getting anything back. It's just not cool. Or anybody else that works every day but pays child support should still get a stimulus check. This isn't like hitting the lottery. This isn't like a settlement. This isn't like a car accident check or a slip and fall. This is to support yourself and your livelihood. You know, it's just crazy. Or they get a reduced amount, I should say. Yes, sir. Yeah. So I don't know, Sarah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Just it upsets me because nobody wants to hear it. It's like sometimes they think, you're making excuses or, oh, you shouldn't have made those kids. You shouldn't have did this. Well, that's neither here nor there. You know, Again, I'm not speaking for every man or every female that doesn't have custody of their children, but I take care of mine. And whatever situation I was in 20 something years ago, or whatever the case is, or 15, 16 years ago, it is what it is. You know, Nobody was an accident. I love my children. Again, I just want things to be fair for everybody, for every man and woman that has to go through some of the things that I have to go through with well, I've been through with child support. I've never let it get. I've never letting it letting. I've never let it get to the point where I was going to jail or having my license suspended or something like that. I've never been in that type of case like that. I don't. I've always paid my child support. Yet the reason why I have rearage is because I may have fell short here and there years ago or whenever. So I don't know. I just feel like if you do what you're supposed to be doing, you're paying your support and you're paying something on your rearage, you should get your this stimulus check. This one. I don't know. Okay, Sarah, if you say so. I make under 75,000, so we'll see. We'll see. And again, I'm thinking positive, so I could use it for some extra things. And actually, I was going to pay a little bit of tax debt that I had, so it was going back to the government anyway. So, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. I know it's other people or other men out there that feel exactly the way I feel, and I don't want to be biased, but I believe that it's majority men that go through this that pay child support. I'm not speaking for the guys that don't take care of their children. This is only for guys that do. So I'm sure everybody can announce to what I'm saying. So, um, but yeah, I just wanted to get that out, guys, and just I hope everybody does something. They want you to stimulate the economy with a little bit of it. Of course, you're going to have to pay some bills. Um, Maybe you can put a little bit up, but go out, get yourself something. Don't go crazy. Pay your rent. Maybe pay your rent up if you're taking, if you've already got that taken care of. So, you know, I don't know. I have to pay. Yes, sir. Yeah. Story time. Yeah, I mean, get him on the live sometimes, and we can definitely talk about it. Again, this is not to bash single women or anything like that. I've always just said, things need to be fair all around the board. The system works for the woman, period, and that's just the way it is, especially in my state. The system works for the woman. It doesn't matter what the man said, he does. He you're nothing. You're just the whatever they say you are. You pay the amount they say you're going to pay, and that's what it is. Oh, and the other thing is, if you sign a birth certificate for a child that's not yours in our state, excuse me, it's still your child, regardless if you start a relationship with that child or not. It's still yours. So basically, they're saying you can be, hey, Claire Bear, you can basically be deceived by your wife, and she could get pregnant by somebody else. You could sign the birth certificate because you would think it was your child, and they once you found out it wasn't your child, it'd still be your child. So these are some things that need to be fixed here in Indy, in the Midwest. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't understand it. I know it was a case in Detroit where a guy found out that a little boy was, which is a grown man now, that wasn't his. After a while, he got DNA test on the boy, and found out the son wasn't well, the little boy wasn't his, and they still said that he owed thousands of dollars of child support, even though the son was not his. So the system is flawed. Unfortunately, again, this is not for guys that don't do anything, and mothers with kids definitely should have their kids taken care of by the person that made them. But when you are taking care of your children and you don't get any fairness, then no, it's not cool. and we need to go back and revamp that part of the system. And it needs to be more family geared anyway. It just does. So I don't know. Yeah, and that doesn't make any sense. That's the thing. Um, I've been through that. And why wouldn't I sign a birth certificate if I didn't have any doubt that wasn't my child? But about 8 to 9 years, no, about 10 years later, I found out that the daughter was not mine. So what does that mean? Fortunately, I didn't have to pay um, support for that child because she was born under a certain year where they didn't change the law, hadn't changed the law yet. And I was deceived. I was told this was my child. Thought it was my child. I signed the birth certificate, and it wasn't my child. So, yeah, things like that need to be fixed. And we've got to do better. Everybody's always bashing the fathers, bashing the fathers, bashing the fathers. Put yourself on our side sometimes. Guys that care about their children, that are getting ripped off when it comes to uh, the money amounts. Only the reason why I'm saying that is for the money that you're making an hour. That's where it's not fair. And no, I didn't raise her. I absolutely didn't. But the messed up part about it is that her mother didn't take care of business and change her name. So her last name is still my last name, which she's a grown woman now, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Why would you have a daughter that the guy's not your daughter's father, and you never change your last name? So now you've got a grown woman running around with my last name, and she's not even my daughter. And I made sure that I got DNA tests, and she wasn't mine. So these are some of the weird things that happen with being irresponsible. Let's just say it, being irresponsible sometimes. Okay, let's just put it out there. I am a human being. I am not the same person I was 25 years ago. So it's okay. We all have a past. So I guess a lot of things are just biting me in my ass now, and I'll just say it, my ass, and it is what it is. So I love you guys, and thanks for listening to Lifestyles with Eric. I just want to get that little vent off, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with me. Okay. And you know, eh, if I get the stimulus check, I'll get back on here and I'll tell you, hey, I got it, and I'm able to take care of a couple of things I need to take care of. Absolutely, absolutely. Now, say if I had custody, okay, I'll let this story go real fast. So I had a friend that when I lived out in California, it's a good friend of mine. So he had custody of his son, but every time he went to court with his ex-wife, they treated him like he wasn't the custodial parent. They treated him like he didn't have custody of his son. So that just tells you the system is flawed. They treat men like they're nothing, even when you're paying support and doing what you're supposed to be doing. They treat you like you're not. So, yeah, we've got to get this changed. And maybe one of these days I'll be able to run for state representative or something, or talk to somebody that can possibly pass a bill to change the child support system and just go in and tweak it just a little bit. So, thank you, Sarah. Thanks, everybody, for listening. It's been real. It's been a good evening. Quarantine Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. I'm getting ready to make some tacos, guys. So enjoy the rest of your night. I've enjoyed talking to you and get some stuff off my chest. And I hope I didn't sound angry. I'm still smiling. It's all good. So I love you all. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Lifestyles with Eric. Take care. Bye bye. I enjoyed talking to you too. You're welcome. You're welcome.